The lone vector stretches in your mind's eye into the wide pale yonder.
God.
For an unimaginable distance, forgetting until you can no longer remember anything. No cities, no mountains, no oceans. And finally, no vector. Nothing remains. A blank space with no point of reference, where only one type of motion is possible. The motion of a human throat swallowing. And then it comes to you. To reach the end of the motorway south is to be unborn. You've had this thought before while aimlessly wandering the streets of Jamrock, a lost piece of the man you were, a dark hope. How did that sit in your gizzard?
So this is like a thing that you're gonna do now.
Yeah.
I'm deeply upset by it. I don't know how to feel about it, quite frankly.
You don't like it? You don't like it?
Look, we'll workshop it. You know, it's fine for now. Oh no,
I'm not changing it. I was just curious about your opinion on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't want you to get the wrong idea that I might be sort of open to feedback on that.
You're definitely not, it seems.
No.
But hey, you know, I like listening to you say words, and those were words. So
that is technically a true statement. James, I do note that on the far right hand side of my shot, there is a bit of wall. I don't know if you see that.
That seems like a David error, more so than an error on mine.
I'll just fix that then, shall I?
No. There we go. I've cropped you out. Do I slightly drag you over though? Goodbye.
Yeah, you got to move me across a little bit. I think. Oh, see ya.
Oh,
bye.
No, now you got a little janky bit on the left hand side. Let me fix that.
I also need to go down like 1 pixel. I need to go down a pixel because I've got a pixel of red. There you go. It's the technical stuff you love to see on this here podcast.
At the beginning of all of your favorite shows, don't you love when they address all of their technical issues? You love when they do a
live tech test. Well, should we do the bloody episode, James?
Yeah, do the intro. Do the intro, guy.
Let's do the intro in 3, 2. Welcome to The Advisory, the first and last advice show on the internet, where we answer questions to try and learn a little bit about what it means to be human. All the advice in this show is final and legally binding. James, did we get that disclaimer yet?
They promised me that I would have it by today, and
classic lawyers.
All I can say is I don't have it.
Damn. Well, you know what I say about lawyers, James. You know what I'm always saying about lawyers?
You're always saying it.
I'm always saying it. Lawyers can't live with them. Can't
sue without them
because I'm poor. What?
It's fine. You
said something different.
Nah, it's cool. Do we introduce? I've noticed that we've done 3 of these now. This is the 3rd one, and we've never actually introduced who we are. Is that something? Yeah.
Right. Because for me, James, we are merely vehicles for the advice. You know, we're vessels for the advice to flow through.
Fuck, that's so true.
Does it matter who we are?
It's so true. And it's like, I don't care who you are.
No.
You know what I mean?
What we are is more important. Yeah.
You know advice vessels.
Advice vessels.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt idea right there. Advice vessels. Say that 3 times quick. Go.
I'm James and this is David. Advice vessels.
Advice vessels are us. Grab that URL while you can.
So this show, we kind of, you're probably thinking, hey, what's the show all about? And my answer to that really is great question. That's such a great question.
My answer would be, did you listen to the intro?
What part of us being advice vessels didn't you fully fucking get is my question.
I said advice vessel, and then that went to your ear holes, and then why are we still talking about it?
Answer me these questions 3. Question the first, why don't you know what this podcast is about? Okay, because we told you at the beginning.
We said it. I said it. You heard it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Are you ignoring me?
I reiterated it at some point.
Is this because I didn't remember? Look, you have 2 bosses and it gets confusing, right? I wasn't ignoring you. I wasn't not taking you seriously, okay? But you have 2 bosses and I got confused. I wasn't trying to take anyone's side, all right? I was just trying to listen. And now you're coming at me? Anytime that you have a problem, you're attacking me. And it's I'm obviously on your side here. I'm sorry I didn't remember that Greg reports to Chan. I just didn't. It's confusing. They're both. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And I just don't want to fight about it.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. It really feels like you've brought probably some outside issues maybe into the podcast zone. We talked about this last time. What? This is the advice zone. We are advice vessels, and I really feel like you've brought some sort of like outside. You're polluting the advice space a little bit, is what you're doing.
You're concerned that I've got some other stuff in the vessel there that's mucking up the workings.
Yeah, exactly. We need to put you through one of those. Before you go into like a walk-in lab, they shoot like the jets of air at you and all that sort of stuff to really cleanse you.
No, I don't know that.
They cleanse you. I'd like to advice cleanse you with this little palette advice cleanser. David, my name is my name is Jules Myers, and I'm a mum of 2 teen girls. And it says here, wife of 23. Wife of 23 people? Or she is 23 and a wife.
Where are you looking? What is happening
on
now?
Your notes that you've... No, I'm looking at your notes that you've constructed, and I'm going to ask you this advice cleanser. My 15-year-old daughter said hell, so I took away her phone for 3 months. What else should I do?
Sorry, I now see the one that you're referencing, and I apologize for my ignorance.
Yeah.
I was looking in the wrong column in our database. My bad.
Okay, again, this is we've done. We are exactly. Hold on, 6 minutes and 47 seconds into this. Let's face it, steaming pile of shit. Okay,
we came in. Listen, we both came in with a weird energy.
There's too much. There's too much technical.
We got too technical.
Yeah. There's too much house cleaning,
Cora, by the way. Yeah, too much house cleaning. So, okay. I love the idea that I picked this one in particular, James, because parents completely overreacting to minor things gives me so much life. Because it's like watching someone try and ruin a relationship actively and think they're doing the right thing. Like the idea that said hell. Just said hell. Just said hell.
Oh,
you didn't
like said that? It. It's just you said it. You said the bad word sort of a couple really sharp. You know what I mean? So it's hard to.
How does heck strike you?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Sorry, that one took me off guard. I'm glad you censored yourself on that one. Yes, I'll take heck.
I didn't realize you were a conservative Christian mother, James.
I'm a wife of 23.
I don't know why she said that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 23 years, but I just thought that was like an odd thing to include in your bio.
I'm going to assume that it means she's a wife of 23 separate people. Yeah.
Got it. That's a lot of work.
And I can understand why she's turned to Quora to sort of, deal with. You have that many problems, that many things that are coming across your desk, problems to solve.
Oh my God.
Irons in the fire, plates that you're juggling. You've got to turn to Quora.
And you've got no one in your life that's close to you that you could ask advice of.
Yeah. None of the kids are old enough yet to give advice on what the other kids... You know how when you have kids and then you eventually, the older ones start to look after the younger ones and then you just sort of like feed that down the chain?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd imagine it's very much like that sort of in the later years with advice. You sort of turn to the older one to get advice for how to deal with the younger one. And then that sort of...
She's a wife of 23, so she's married to 23 husbands. So why you couldn't ask one of them for what,
Busy. Everyone's busy.
Busy at the office.
Jules has got a lot going on in her life, and they've got a lot going on in their lives. David, you took away the phone.
Punishment.
What else should you do?
3 months 3 months no phone is a lot.
That's, and excuse my French, fucked off its fucking nut cunt. Like, what the fuck?
Did you say the F?
What the hell? Oh, what the hell?
Frick.
What the fuck did you just say?
So crazy.
3 months?
3 months? like if I crashed my mother's car, I bet I would be looking at maybe, I'm trying to think how I was 15. I'd be looking at maybe like a month without a phone or something.
Right.
Like it would take a lot to, but like saying hell and then being like, I'm taking your iPhone 7 Pro away for 3 months is fucking crazy.
Yeah, what else should I do? I think you should roll some months back a little bit.
You got to dial the punishment back.
I'd say, hold on. What I like, you know what the internet's like, right? You know, there's always these new terms that are coming out. Maybe mum's not even aware of like saying hell in the grand scheme of things is like very vanilla. That's very PG.
Right.
The stuff that I could be saying, mum. So I'm looking for new swear words.
You know what you should do, James? An easy way to find this out on Google is just Google any woman on the internet and look in the comments section. And that'll probably give you some of the bad things you could say.
Okay. Oh, no. These are swear word alternatives.
Go on. You got to disclose. Dude. What you got for us? What you got for us?
Great title. What the cuss? 50. Okay.
What the James? Because it sounds like the other thing.
I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to.
Is it?
I'm leaving on that one.
Is you.
The fact that you
get it? You don't get it.
Just
James is trying to be cool because it's a show, but he doesn't get it.
I'm going to stay here for most of the rest of the show. Just sort of off to the side because I sort of don't feel comfortable with sort of how much you really lent into that one. You know what I mean?
What's up?
It's fine. David.
What happened? You can't. I would have preferred that actually. If you could just make me the whole screen and take yourself off so you give the audience what they want, that would be.
Definitely. Yeah. And what I love so much about what you've just said there is how much that's revealed about you as a person.
What do you mean by that? I just said something and I don't have a sense of interiority, so you may need to explain what you mean because I don't see how that would be true.
Definitely. How do you feel about the term son of a monkey?
It's not even anything, is it?
Boulder Dash. Barnacles. That's one. Yeah.
Oh, this yeah. Really, you ever want to find a way to take the air out of a room? Jesus Christ. Barnacles?
Yeah. Although one on here that I think, like, if your mum's reacting pretty negatively to hell, I don't think saying poo on a stick, which is one that they've actually got, is going to come off better for your... I mean, is it? I was going to say, like, crazy mum, but, like...
That's not really like a... Like swear words are like they have to have a good mouthfeel. Like they have to be very staccato. I think, you know, if you say fuck or like, because when you drop something and you say shit is very like staccato. Like it's got a lot of good forward momentum. If I drop something and say poo on a stick, like what?
I've come back around the poo on a stick.
Oh, you like it? Yeah. Well, you like it when I said it like that.
Some of these are just like just names. William Shatner, that's nothing. Barbara Streisand. Whoa, okay. Found one that tickled David.
It was the Shatner bit. Because it sounds like chat.
What does
like shit?
Really quick, what does that say?
Let me just review. What the fuck? Jumpin' Jehoshaphat.
Jumpin' Jehoshaphat?
Is that like jumping Jesus? What's the equivalent?
I don't know.
Jumpin'.
Galloping gremlins. Oh, galloping gremlins. This is making me depressed. What the cuss needs to fuck off.
Yeah, we have to get out of here with that one. Oh my god. Who is Jehoshaphat and why is he jumping? Where does the expression jumping Jehoshaphat come from? Oh my god, this is a full-on article. Jesus Christ. God. Oh, okay. It's like alliteration. It's like holy moly, or like jumping Jupiter, gee willikers, jumping Jehoshaphat kind of thing. So that sucks, and I wish I didn't know that.
All right, we've spent
we got
Jules Myers. Unfortunately, we've spent far too long on this question. What else should I do? Nothing. There is much less.
You've gone too far.
You've gone too far. You've absolutely gone too far. So
you know what my mom used to do that was really effective is she would take the like the DVI cables from the Xbox, like the audio visual cables. She would take those.
Wow.
And be like, shape up, get your shit together, and you get the cables back. Didn't last very long because it wasn't a big house because we were pretty poor. And so I just used to find them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a cool idea, I think, on paper.
Yeah, my parents went a bit of a different route. Sort of like you ever been hit with a horse cane? A horse whip?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that one's it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one.
No,
they didn't really go with the what was that? It was more sort of just like, immediately, and much that kind of was the reaction of people of that generation. Straight to violence.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Just, have we got a problem? Violence.
Loud noise? Violence.
Violence. Bad TV show? Violence. Talking to your wife? Violence. That last one was a mental typo. Scratch that.
Should we do another typo? Hey, I don't want to. I don't want to dig too deep on that one.
Do another question.
But I'm gonna think about. I'm gonna write that down. Hold on. You do the next question, and I'm gonna put that in the book. Actually,
I'm just gonna find one. I'm gonna find one that I think is pretty cool and good.
Would you say again, just really quickly, just so I can.
Me.
Yeah.
I said it was sort of a mental typo.
Mental typo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanna jot that down and just kind of keep that in the back of your head there.
Mental typo. And that was sort of you making sort of like a...
I was doing a joke about when you talk to your wife, you want to do violence to her.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you want to take that away and unpack it, maybe come back to us next week and see what you've learned.
I'll talk to some people who can maybe help you with that, but that's okay.
You're going to talk to the bloody PC police, mate? You're going to talk to the bloody PC police?
Take that too.
PC's gone mad, mate. You can't say anything anymore. Don't talk to him, mate. Look at him. He's texting the PC police right now.
No, I'm just sort of jotting it down. So
yeah. Well, I'll ask the next question then.
You got it. You got it. Sorry, I'll just flag that in this notebook. Dash.
Yeah.
Very concerning.
Oh, you're adding commentary now.
And then I'll just sort of underline that, and then might get a highlighter just so I can really circle back to that. But yeah, we're good. Continue with the next question.
Okay. Next one comes from Roland Betesco, which is from Cora. If a granada is thrown into a room you're in, what are your best chances of survival? Now, a brief Google tells me that a granada is just a grenade, so don't stress about that too much.
Right.
You're okay. You're in your office. Grenade comes in.
Definitely.
What do you do?
Of course.
What do you do? Yeah.
I like that you read that question and your immediate thought is, how do I answer this question earnestly? My immediate thought is, why does Roland want to know the survival rate of someone with a grenade in the room with them?
What you doing, Roland?
Yeah.
What you up to?
If a grenade came in here right now, what's really the what's the window of time that you have before a grenade goes off? Is it 5 seconds?
For you. Grenade. I'm not sure if uses the how long
I'm not being sorry, I'm not being strapped to a train line.
How long is it? It's 2 to 6 seconds, depends on the grenade. So let's split the diff and say 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if a grenade comes 4. Oh, give me tons of room.
Giving
to
you another
that
second,
one.
baby.
First of all, it takes me 2.5 to 3 seconds to realize a grenade's come in the room. I'll say, Tintin, what's that? And I'm dead. Me going, what's that? And then I die.
You're gone. Well, you're in the middle of a raid, so you're fully plugged in. You know, you don't have. You're in the World of Warcraft. You know what I mean?
They got me when I'm my most vulnerable.
Yeah,
They know I'm locked in
did.
on my rotation.
That sounds like a real thing, so I have to pretend. I have to pretend to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's like,
also my
dude,
rotation.
have you seen how much stuff is going on in the Kill Jaden fight? It's like I'm not even going to notice. I'm probably not even going to notice them come in.
Mate, there's magic and there's spells and lots of war being crafted, isn't it? In the game.
You see, this is what I find upsetting. You play video games.
Yeah,
you know, sort of, like some terminology, but you still come in.
Ludonarrative dissonance.
You still come in with this really weird, and I don't want to say boomer energy, but you boom it up.
The boomer energy, it's real, don't worry.
But yes, there's lots of spells and there's lots of magic. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I knew that. I was actually testing you.
Look, I'm gonna level with you really quickly. I don't really get that much into like the lore of the games that I play, so it's still very confusing to me. And I could solve this very quickly and easily with a quick Google. But Kil'jaeden he has a woman trapped in a bubble.
What's the name?
Kil'jaeden.
And that's a character in the fantasy game?
He's a demon man. Again, I don't know the lore. I don't really know what he's.
Sorry, it sounds like a player name. That's why I asked.
Like,
I wasn't trying to.
There's a demon man named Kil'jaeden. He's trying to climb out of a circle in the ground. I don't really know what's happening with that. And then there's a girl trapped in a ball above him, and he's draining her of her life juice.
Yeah. And
I'll tell you what, I have no idea what the fuck is going on there.
But you know when to do your rotation.
Oh, yeah. I'm fully across my rotation. So no idea what's going on with the lore, but in terms of the rotation, very locked in. Yeah.
See, this is where we differ, because I would almost always be the opposite. Where I'd be like, not only do I know what's going on with the lore, I've read the side novels that are related to it. But the second you put me in front of the controller and you're like, be a useful, productive member of this team, I would crumble.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're like, use your macros. And I'd be like, I'm not exercising right now. I don't understand what you're saying.
Hey guys, not fully aware of what to do with my macros and stuff. But what I do know is this guy's brother actually forged a kingdom 10,000 years. Is this relevant right now, guys?
Is this helping?
Yeah.
Will it reveal his vulnerability?
Having played video games with you, and very much our PUBG era, and it's like I don't find any joy in constantly reminding you of this situation. But there was a time where there was 4 of us playing. 3 of your teammates were down, and we said the words, "David, help," and we turned around. I shit you not, his character is hiding behind some trash cans on top of some garbage with a pistol. So not very helpful. Needless to say, we didn't win that one. Yeah.
James, this is no bullshit. This is no bullshit. Before I got on this call for this podcast, I was literally editing a book of essays about video games that I'm going to publish.
Mm-hmm.
And you've just reminded me of that anecdote, and I have to find a way to jam that in somehow.
Jam it in.
Because that someone has clipped that out. Like, there's a clip of that somewhere that someone's done. It's very good.
Yeah, there was.
I crumble under pressure.
And there was a screenshot at one point that was circulating, to sort of, really like prove the point. Because David there was a period of time where David sort of wanted to, poo-poo the whole fact that he was hiding behind trash cans. But it's very hard to sweep that under the rug when there's photo evidence of you doing it.
Well, it's sort of what happened is that you guys constructed a narrative about what occurred. And sort of, I didn't know where you were.
Yeah, so exactly. And the narrative was the truth. And the thing that we used to prove that narrative was evidence, physical evidence.
Well, the thing about the 2020 election, James, is that
He's gone into a spiral.
It's
David,
fine.
David,
How?
two
Yeah.
things. Shut up. And first of all, shut it. Second of all, if a grenade is thrown into your room that you're in right now, what are your best chances of survival? You have 3 to 4 seconds.
So this is a very small room. So I would either leave the room is thing one. If I couldn't leave the room,
Walk
there's
past
a walking.
it.
Yeah, literally just like
Okay.
run past it out
Yep.
the room.
Yep.
If I couldn't do that, there is a cupboard in here, like a walk-in, like a walk-in sliding door cupboard.
Yeah,
I would
also have
probably
one of
try and
those.
I would try and fling myself in there, I suppose, and hope that the thin mirror doors would protect me.
Yeah. See, that was my immediate thought wasn't that one, because I thought the explosion's definitely going to get me anyway, and won't that be fun being on the other end of all of those just thin shards of glass also flying towards me.
So I might have goofed it, is what you're saying.
I think there is Roland. I think there is one answer. One, get help, and two, so there's two answers. Unsurvivable. Unless I'm in a bathtub and somehow a mattress fell on top of the bathtub at the same time that it got, well, it's thick and it protects you from tornadoes. Ever see that movie Twister?
No, I don't watch films. I read books. Just trying to amp up the boomer energy. By the way,
I don't think that was a joke.
What happened?
I don't think that was a joke.
Anyway, do you want to know what the actual answer was? And it's very good.
Sorry. What do you mean the actual answer?
Sorry, I mean we obviously our legal answer, but the one on Quora. These fools on Quora.
Fuck off. Here we go. What's some genius on Quora got?
So Mike Little says, if you're in a room and a grenade is thrown, even if you're not hit by shrapnel, the concussion will damage you. Unless you've been near exploding grenades, you may not realize how powerful they are. Your best chance to survive is leave the room, either by the door or by jumping out of a window. If there are no windows, or it's not safe outside, you should do one of the following. Get behind some furniture. Place something between you and the grenade. For example, a flak jacket or backpack.
Or other human body. Yeah.
Human shield. Human meat shield.
First of all, just really quickly.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Oh, it starts off. Oh, I don't know how much time you've spent around grenades. Shut up. Oh, and I don't know if you know how powerful grenades are. An explosive device? Yeah, dude. I think we all like get it. You know.
I've seen.
And the idea. Oh yeah, jump out a window. Okay. So I'm going to what? In the 3 seconds that I have available to me, open the window, start to climb over it, or dive out. How long do you think I've got? How long is this grenade?
I think listen. This is every response on Quora. For those who never,
I hate when people are like, and this is definitively what you should do. It's like, shut up. You don't know what you would do, and everything you're saying is like,
yeah, it's like armchair academic shit.
Oh my god!
And this is the thing about doing the research for the show to get the questions is advice spaces on the internet are the black hole of society.
Of course,
like it's where good people go to die. Is what it is. Last piece of advice, which is, I know we have to move on, but it's turn yourself away from the grenade, get flat on the ground, hide your head between your arms and cover your ears.
Watered it. Take that, stupid grenade.
I looked away. Eat shit.
I've turned my back to it. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that this is how you actually thwart a grenade. Oh, is that a grenade coming at me front on? And deflected it.
James, much like a marriage, the best way is to avoid the problem. What, you didn't like that?
Shut up forever. The solution to a problem isn't you're like, hey man, I've got myself into this problem. What's the solution for it? And they go, here's the solution. Don't get yourself into the situation where the problem arises. Thanks, dude. That's helpful.
My favorite one is this thing that happens a lot on Reddit advice, which is someone will be ask a very serious relationship question, like I'm being abused by my boyfriend, I'm being bullied, but like I'm in this really bad toxic situation. And invariably like one of the first top voted responses will be like, do you not have enough like self-respect to not get into this in the first place? And you're like, what are you doing? What the fuck?
Oh
like,
my God.
Or they'll start their advice with, well, first of all, I wouldn't be in this situation to start with. And it's like,
good, great for you.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, man.
That doesn't help anyone.
No. It just makes you feel a bit better about yourself. I don't know.
Let me start off by saying, this would never happen to me, idiot.
I would simply not get got by a grenade.
Perfect. Well, that's helpful. You know?
Yeah.
Check it off the list.
Yeah. Well, look, James, we're about at the halfway integer here. They're just trying to bring the tech speak back. Should we do the feature question? What do you think? Should we really get stuck in? Get out, really rip open the bag of advice Doritos and just jam a hand in there? Get it covered in that weird kind of flavored dust stuff.
Oh, you wanna get covered in some advice dust is what you're asking.
I wanna get coated in it, man. I just want it all over my fingies.
Wow. That is yeah.
You can say it's hot.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Viscerally disturbing is not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say
no
hot. Yeah.
My goal on this podcast is to repulse anyone that would stick around long enough to enjoy it.
Let me tell you.
Trend. It's working.
It's working.
I love that for me. That's actually a bit. It's really good to achieve your goals, I think.
I've always said that.
Well, look, I'm gonna hit you with this one. This one comes from Skyliner 360, which, by the way, as a handle on Reddit, Skyliner 360, my guy sounds like he's out here skateboarding and shit. Like, it's kind of a cool vibe. This is not a cool vibe, the question, but I just thought username wise, I see a lot of usernames going to these websites. Not a bad one.
You think Skyliner 360, the image you're getting from that digital moniker is a cool guy doing skateboard tricks?
James, I left the internet in 2018.
For some reason, I'm picturing like a guy who does trick shots on Destiny 2.
Oh, you've ruined it for me. I was imagining like a cool dude, like who just wears flannel and chills out, and he's like, I skate a bit, but it's not a big deal, and he's actually really great at skating, and he's kind of cool, and he does some drugs, but not the really bad ones, and he's emotionally available, but still got that kind of edge to him that women find attractive, and like he's respectful, but he still has that ability to be masculine in a way that they find attractive. And the more you get to know him, the more you start to realize like there's no real affectation. He's just honest all the time, and then as you become deeper and deeper friends with him, you start to become a bit jealous of the way that he's able to process life and his emotions, because you've never really had a full handle on the manual that is how your brain works. And he seems to just effortlessly have it. And it becomes increasingly frustrating to the point where eventually one night you go to a party together, you get a bit too drunk, and then you start a fight with him, and you try to punch him, but he refuses to fight you because he's too good of a guy. And then he steals your girlfriend and doesn't talk to you anymore. But not in a way that's like rude, but in a way that he's like trying to respect your space and doesn't want to like be all up in your face with it. But that makes you even sadder, because not only did you lose the girl you're in love with, but you also lost a close friend, and you feel bad about it because you know it was your fault. That was kind of what I was imagining with Skyliner.
Yeah, definitely. That's sort of the energy that I got from it. Yeah,
was picturing him
sort of does a kickflip on the way out, and he's like, me and Jess are leaving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the title of this post is was this douchey? Real great way to start.
Almost certainly, yes.
I'm gonna hit you with it, and you jump in anytime you need to. Okay, but
I just want to, having not read this question and having not heard this before, my prediction is yes.
The answer is never no.
Yeah.
Okay. I met these two girls 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of, I'm gonna warn you now, there's a lot of like poor sentence structure here that drives me crazy as a writer, but we're just gonna power through it.
Okay.
I met these two girls 2 weeks ago at a bar with my friends. Met them again the next week, and one of them asked if I/my friends wanted to hang out with them at another bar after. She had started being progressively more interested in me as the night was going on, sort of dropping like subtle hints like saying she's single and asking for my status. I already knew I wasn't interested in her, but she seemed cool and like she could be a friend.
Really
I said
quick.
sure, so we all went to,
Really quick.
Yeah.
She's single, so she's dropping subtle hints, saying she's single, and asked me my status?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what people are doing now?
Yeah, dating is worse than it's ever been these days.
Is that just a weird way of this person describing it post event? The interaction was just like, oh, I'm single. Do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend or anything?
Yeah, it would have been a single sentence. A woman getting to know you.
Yes.
Not necessarily romantically, but obviously this guy decided to interpret it a type of way.
I've just never heard anyone, pose it like that before.
They do that where they'll sort of like, they'll kind of like try and find a way to mention, or they'll make a joke. What they do is they make a joke about being single, and then you kind of go like, ha ha ha, like, yeah, me too, or whatever. Like you kind of, yeah, it's being single's awful.
Sorry, just really quick.
Sorry, what's up?
Really quick.
Yeah.
If you want to know a girl is single, right? Because you're a young, handsome man out on the prowl,
Oh.
That's how David likes it. That's how David likes to describe
it's also
it.
Prowl, not prowl, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So I would know as I'm out on the prowl.
See, because he knows, because he does it. How would you go about asking someone their status?
Right. Okay. Well, let's do a bit of a role play. You be the woman, and I'll sort of try to strike that.
Oh, dude, how the fuck? See, I'm so out of the loop, man. It's like, how am I gonna even know what we're chatting about?
Right. Well, I would say something like, how do you feel about the rotations in Destiny 2? And then you would say,
and me as the woman, I would say, I fucking know who plays Destiny 2.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know what that is. Hi.
Side note, really quickly.
Yeah.
Crushing it. By
Thanks,
the way.
Man. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Really good stuff.
Yeah. Worth breaking character for that, I think. Yeah.
And now back in. Sorry, you were fucking. I'm gonna level with you. Sidebar really quick. I'm a bit of a dick. I'm a bit of a dick.
The sidebar.
Okay, I won't. You'll just you'll get my character as I said.
I'll pick it up. So this is improv. I'll pick it up.
What the fuck? What were you saying? What the fuck were you saying?
Yeah, it fucking doesn't matter. How do you? What do you do?
Oh my god, spit it out.
Sorry, I just I get really flustered when I think about the Black Eyed Peas, which are currently playing at the bar that we're in. I don't know why I'm explaining that to you. You're also hearing them.
Yeah, or you can see that I'm dancing to them. Like what? Yeah,
yeah, you're kind of dancing a bit.
Yeah.
Do you normally dance with anyone else?
Do I normally dance with anyone else? What?
Yeah,
me?
Yeah.
Like dude. Sometimes I guess. Right. Sometimes me and my girlfriends fucking dance. Sometimes I dance with my guy friends or whatever.
Right. That's cool. Yeah. I can't dance, but that's cool. Do you what's your status?
on Facebook? That is some boomer shit, dude. What's my status?
What's your story? Is that right?
Like my Snap story, dude? What?
Is that what it's called? Huh?
What are you saying?
Are you single?
My TikTok story? Am I single is what you want to know. And here's where I lie, right? No, I've got a boyfriend.
No, I got a boyfriend. Actually, I'm engaged.
And sorry, and just really quickly, here's me looking past you to one of my friends.
Well, can I?
Sorry, hold on. I'm just gonna say it to them. Will you help me? What's my story? This guy asks. What's your status? What's your status? He said that.
I can hear you. I'm still in front of you.
Will you shut the fuck up, dude? Help.
You stop talking to me.
Can we leave? Sorry.
What is happening?
Sorry, yeah, you were saying.
Stop talking to me.
Yeah, sorry. What were you saying?
Well, I think this bit's getting a bit too conceptual and we should back out and maybe talk about the rest of the question. That's what I was saying to you.
Wow.
I would have normally, dear listener, under normal circumstances, I would have followed that bit all the way down.
Definitely.
Like we would have been getting a burrito at like an hour later. Like this would have become a full moment. But I think in the interest of everyone's sanity, we should probably sort of step away from the dance floor.
And David,
did you want to get a drink at the bar? Maybe. We're still in the bit. We haven't left.
Please leave me alone. See, Dave. See now, what was supposed to be a little insight into educating me as to how the modern man, in a like, you know, a club setting, a bar setting, or wherever, you know, dating begins these days, wherever you get to know people. I was hoping to understand how you ask someone about their.
Me?
Well, yeah, David, you're a young man on the prowl. Ladies of Brisbane, stay vigilant.
I'm not good at it.
Well, I know that now.
What did you think? I was gonna come in and be like fucking like a Romeo? Who do you think you're talking to?
How have you ever asked a woman her relationship status previously?
Not, I have, but it doesn't come out. You don't ask it like that. Like it's a lot more. It's a lot more like. Usually what you try and do is you try and steer the conversation to be about something where there would normally be a romantic partner involved. So, for example,
oh my god, okay,
you'd be like, oh, like I haven't been on holiday in ages, you know, like it's kind of hard to plan that stuff and make yourself do it when it's just you. And they'll be like, oh, I fucking same, or they'll be like, I never have that problem because me and Chad are always on holiday. Like,
right,
that is probably the most typical maneuver,
right? And then that
not
way,
funny, just true.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm looking. I was just looking for that. I was looking. See, that's help. Sometimes you have to take the goofs and you set them aside for a second to give someone some real insight into, you know, what it's like dating as the modern man. It sounds atrocious, by the way.
It's really bad. It's mostly awful. Actually what it is in practice is like a game of large numbers where you have to engage with enough of these apps on your phone to filter through enough women based on like 2 or 3 seconds of glancing at them in order to kind of filter down to your sort of desired sort of person that you want to be with. And then you have to engage in a long texting process in which you still won't know if you're actually attracted to them because you don't really know that till you meet someone properly. And then they're going to develop an attachment that you don't have in equal measure. And then when you finally meet them, someone's feelings get hurt invariably, or it works out well. Those are the two outcomes. It is a bad system.
So you or her one of you sort of gets, you know, over involved, or maybe likes the other person more.
Over invested.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And interesting. Then this might be naive to say or ask, but you said, oh, you know, you have to go through all of these apps and blah 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 and do all this bullshit. Do you have to? It
depends on the type. It depends. So okay, you don't have to, but
it's sort of become like
post-COVID world.
It's become like
it's
the way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the expected medium. You can't just you can do this and people still do this. I still do this. You can just go up and talk to people when you're out and about. But I make like a million podcasts, so I'm never outside of this fucking room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if you do a dating podcast, but it's and it's sort of like to find you love? Oh, we do a call-in show.
Oh no.
And you sort of do like speed dating.
The worst part is I would probably do that at this point. Yeah, go for it.
Sweet Davy Dates.
Oh. And you think that calling it that is gonna make women wanna call up?
No, I just thought it'd be fun to say.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah.
You had a good mouth feel.
Yeah.
James, I said sure, so we went to the next bar and she insisted / asked my number before we left. She wanted me to sit right next to her. We all leave, and she texted me before I got home saying she really enjoyed it.
Okay.
She seems keen.
Yeah,
is what I would say.
That's cool.
A few days later, she texted asking if I wanted to hang out with her and her friends. I was on the fence, but decided to go because, like I said, I think she could be a friend, and I'm trying to make more friends. Okay, Patrick Bateman. We all talked for a while and had a good time. She texted me again before I got home and said she really enjoyed it and we should hang out just the two of us sometime. Here's where I think I might have been a douche because I went ahead and said that I think she's cool and I'm enjoying getting to know her, but I just want to say I'm seeing things as a friendship and don't want to be misleading. Would still want to hang out, but just don't want to give anyone the wrong impression. I said I am hoping I'm not coming across like a jerk saying this. She said, don't worry, that's how I feel too, so everything's cool. I say cool. I just feel like I may have been a little premature in saying it, but in my experience, if I didn't, I would be leading her on and kicking the can down the road and having to deal with the possibility in person in a more awkward situation. So I just felt like I needed to be straight about it. Was that a douchey / presumptuous thing? Or did I do the right thing? Could I have done something differently / better?
So she said, don't worry about it. That's how she's feeling too. Everything's
complete
cool.
fiction. Complete fiction. IMO. That's just like a thing that you would say, wouldn't it? If you don't want to be embarrassed, right. You're like, oh yeah, me also. Also, I've just noticed that my glass has a green grasshopper on it, and the green screen makes that into
it's a red grasshopper now. Yeah.
Which is extremely I apologize to Happy Valley Brewing Co. for ruining your branding. They're a very good brewery.
We've co-opted your brand in our part of the
it's now the
Advisory Family Goods.
If I do that up here, does it like vanish? There's a bit of a delay, so I'm just trying to I don't know. It's very cool. So sorry. What do you think? Where's the real ADHD podcast tonight?
Yeah, and also I just picture I sort of like just close my eyes for a second there to sort of get the experience of what it would be like to be an audio listener of this. And just sort of like drinking that moment in. You know what I mean?
Just like, hearing me.
Wow, I wonder what that red grasshopper looks like. And it used to be green, he said. Wow, and it's vanishing.
Crazy.
What is this magic, man?
What's going on?
I mean, was it douchey and presumptuous? I mean, like maybe, you know, you're assuming like this person is like, maybe they're just looking for a mate or whatever. And also, you don't know if you're gonna like start to like this person or whatever. Just fucking hang out with someone and like keep it cool or whatever. Like surely there's just hanging out with someone doesn't like necessarily mean we're doing anything like romantic. You know what I mean?
Especially given the context that you met them under. Like it's not like we were saying before, like a dating app, or like that's explicitly what you're there for. You just met some people in the world. Like that's the part that it's like, do you just assume that if a woman wants to spend time with you that she's like she wants to get rowdy with you?
That's
because you're so handsome. Like that's where I'm like I don't know.
I mean, like, this was the first time that they were like, hey, do you want to hang out? And you were like, oh, pump the brakes, Desperado. Yeah, maybe I want to hang out, dude. But, you know, I just want you to know that, like, I'm not even DTF on this one. So
I'm totes married to the job.
You hung out with them once. And then next time around, they were like, hey, do you want to hang out? I feel like you've jumped the gun a little bit.
Well, here's the thing. So they meet when they're out. They hang out in a group setting. And then she's like, hey, do you want to hang out together? And he's like, whoa. Keep it in your pants.
That's what I mean.
Actually, like, it's weird, man.
I think you've jumped the gun maybe a little bit.
What would you do? What could I have done something differently / better?
Yeah, just been like, yeah, cool, let's hang out.
Be cool and normal,
and then go and hang out with them.
Yeah,
like I don't understand why you needed to be like, hey, I really need to just before we do this thing, I really need to frame and contextualize what this hangout is and what it means to me personally. It's like, cool it, dude. Like. It's not that deep. There's a part of this that reads like this has happened to him before. Where he's like, fuck, every time I hang out with a woman, you wouldn't believe it. They always try and kiss me. Yeah, it seems a little. But then, I don't know, because people's personal experiences shape how they react to things in the future, and you can't like, depending upon what that is, can't necessarily hold that against someone. Maybe they're trying to protect themselves from,
Yeah.
getting into a situation that they got
Complications.
into before. So it's hard to be like, hey, you're a dickhead, dude. But also, you jump the gun maybe a little bit and just go, hang out and then see what that is. If maybe if you were getting some, romancy vibes off of that one, then you could maybe, say something for next time.
That's
But
that would be I would have waited to see what
this
the
is
vibe of
hangout
the.
number one.
It's number one,
Yeah.
bro. Sometimes you just meet someone and you're like, I'm not physically attracted to you, and that's fine. But like, actually, would it change the equation if she'd been like, hey, it was great to see you. We should hang out together. Also, I love avocado. Would that have changed the way he should have responded?
See, look, I don't like to hold it against people that they've been duped by Big Cardo. Okay.
Big Cardo, yeah.
Yeah. That these people have been sold the lie of avocado, right? And these people are out here fucking
Brexit, Trump, QAnon,
telling,
same thing.
yeah, saying like, oh, avocado is so great. And then their justification for it is, here are all of the things avocado is great in / with. And it's
not a
like,
good thing by itself.
Is it good then? Because you're telling me it's good when it's this, but no one's just like, although I did have, there's one guy in my guild, dude, fuck. I'm going with it. Anyway, there's a guy in my guild, and he's a doctor in Hawaii. And he was saying that, because, again, I told you that there were like 12 people who were all pro Cardo and shit. These are all in like different, in real life, online.
Oh, they're distributed around your life.
Fuck,
okay.
Dude. And then so this, we got into this avocado thing, and I was saying, everyone always sells it on how great it is and other stuff. And he's like, no, he's like, I just ate avocados for lunch at one period. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
For lunch, for a period of time, he took 2 avocados to work, cut them open, and just ate them with a spoon.
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's sort of hard to argue with a guy like that, because it's like, well,
No.
you're a doctor.
I refuse.
But at the same time, just because you're a doctor doesn't mean your taste buds are great.
No.
That's a weird thing to just.
I had to physically remove myself to
You're in the lunchroom and you're like, oh, I'm having a fucking, BLT today or whatever, or like, ham, cheese, and tomato sandwich. What are you having today, man? And he's like, 2 avocados. You can clearly see I have my 2 avocados, a knife, and a spoon. I'm ready to lunch it.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can do you one weirder.
Okay. Weirder than raw dogging some fucking avocado for lunch. Nothing else.
I'm gonna say this and you tell me.
Okay.
There was a guy at work who, when we were all in the office in pre-COVID and still now, for lunch, we'll buy like a 150 gram like plastic container of potato salad from Woolworths and eat just that for lunch. That's all. That's the whole lunch, and he would do it every day he was in the office. And some weeks that was 5 days a week.
I got acid reflux just from hearing you say that. That's fucking.
I would physically destroy my body. It's the first thing about that.
Just the coleslaw.
Potato salad.
Potato salad.
Potato salad. Potato salad.
You know what?
That's you're eating.
I came a little bit around.
Oh, you didn't?
More.
No, you didn't.
No. Just like.
No, stop
I thought
it.
For some reason I pictured it was like the
coleslaw would be better.
The coleslaw pasta, the cold pasta salad thing that they do.
Oh, pasta salad. Yeah, gross.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be that. Potato salad. It's not great.
That's just all you're eating is like mayo, potatoes, and chives. But like that can't be good for you. I just thought that was so psychopathic. I don't know.
Or it's like a sadness meal, I think. where you just like
Every day?
that Russell Brand bit where he's like, he was talking about got to put the wheat bix in so it don't die, and it's just shoveling wheat bix into his mouth. That was an old one, but yeah,
That's
I
can
think
relate
that's
to
what
that
that
vibe.
is. Yeah, it's just like, you
Yeah.
know what? What's the closest thing to a meal that I can just pull off of a shelf? Which, by the way, they do sandwiches, dude. You know what I mean? Like Coles and
You
Woolies, they
got
do like
so many
prepackaged.
options.
Yeah, get a
They do a
get
full ass
sandy.
salad. You can go in there and be like, give me like a quinoa and sun-dried tomato salad, and it's pretty good. You can get yourself like a little couscous thing. You got hella options. And he's like, nah, straight to the deli aisle.
Yeah.
Give me the potato salad every time. Give me the. Also, this drives me fucking crazy. If you're eating it for lunch every day, why are you buying the individual portion? Buy the big one. It's economies of scale. It's cheaper. Oh, you're going to wake up tomorrow and not feel like potato salad for the 275th day in a row? I don't believe it.
Yeah. No, he's keeping his options open. If I get that big old thing of potato salad, I'm locking myself in. And then what? Oh, what am I going to have to go buy containers then? I'm not an idiot, David.
What if I feel like a single portion of butter chicken from the prepackaged meal aisle for single people that I definitely go to a lot?
First of all, I'm deeply upset that you said couscous and then you didn't immediately follow it up with the food so nice they named it twice. So that's what I had to.
There's a series of things that you do that I refuse to do, and that's one of them.
Well, as long as it's getting done, I don't care who's doing it, as long as it's getting done. So
paw.
No, that's nothing.
Really?
That's
nothing. You don't have it out here for paw. You just leave it in the wind.
Dude, what? Oh yeah, someone's gonna go. Oh, get me a paw, mate. The food's so nice they named it twice. Someone would come in and say, "Hey, that's reserved for couscous, dickhead."
Right. Okay. I didn't realize that you had an opinion about that.
Paw?
Oh
my God, you've upset me.
James, I have to ask you a question before we wrap up, and it's going to be a quick one.
Well, really quick, what do you think about that guy? Do you think it was douchey? You think it was presumptuous? You think he's doing the right thing? Could have done something better?
I think I tend to agree with you. I think that you should have sort of got the vibe. Here's the thing. If you go on that individual hangout and then you get a vibe and you're like, hey, it's like, this just isn't, I'm just not romantically in that type of way. But you won't know until you're with them for a while. Like, so I think it was really presumptuous. But also, this is the entirety of dating distilled into like a single like series of paragraph. Like everything about dating is this kind of shit now. Where so okay, for example, I've been texting this girl for like 2 weeks. It got kind of like flirty and she got really invested during that period. And then we finally caught up for a drink because of various mitigating circumstances on her end. And the second I met her, I was like, oh, I'm just not physically, like, I'm just not attracted to her.
So this was through like a dating app, and then you got to know...
this was through like Hinge, yeah.
And then, so what happens there? You sort of get to know each other by just texting over a period of time?
So usually what'll happen is you go through like an initial interaction where you text, you message on the app back and forth, and then eventually someone goes, hey, can we switch to something else? And because I'm me, all I have is a phone number. I don't have social media, so we usually go to texting. And then usually what you do...
Real quick, in 2022, that's got to be a red flag. That's got to be a red flag.
To be fair, I'm pretty exacting in like who I'm swiping yes on, so like I'm pretty careful about. It's not an issue for me. A bigger red flag is that a bigger red flag, in my opinion, is like, what do you do for fun? Well, yeah. Okay, it's like, what do you do for fun? Well, I make hyper serious media analysis podcasts. I'm writing 2 nonfiction books at the moment, and also I do a dumb podcast where we respond to advice on the internet. I think those are bigger red flags than I don't have Facebook. Okay, if I had to sort of list And but if you're a very particular kind of person, those are big green flags. So.
Right. And at no point do you sort of throw in like, and I like to watch basketball. Or sort of just like any sort of normie stuff that you also do.
I forget about that stuff, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I do like basketball. Yeah.
You do. You're a
yeah, we watched the Suns win a few weeks ago. It was great. Yeah. We went to the pub. We clocked off at midday on Friday, went to the pub, had a few pints, watched the Warriors win. Yeah.
Oh, sports.
Right. Oh, mate, bloody kicking goals.
Slamming home runs. So you
Sla-
go
huh.
through, you do the Hinge thing, you do the text thing for a while. You guys decide to meet up
Usually,
somewhere.
usually what you try and do is you try and execute the first date within 3 to 4 days if scheduling allows, because that's enough to like. Here's the thing about texting and instant messaging is someone can really make themselves a different type of person in that environment because you have time to think about stuff, time to respond, time to think of like jokes.
Of course, yeah,
Um,
you get to really sort of curate who you
yeah,
are.
you
Yeah,
mediate the engagement.
of course,
Whereas I think
everyone's doing that.
right.
Yeah.
And so the biggest challenge is like that versus reality can sometimes be quite different. And not in a bad way. Like I think the biggest challenge that I guess that young people face is that mediation of instant messaging slash social media performance, right? So if someone's on social media posting stuff and
Yep.
performing in that environment, it will create an expectation of the type of person or the type of behavior that or the it will give you a parasocial impression of who they are. And then when you meet them, you obviously have that conflict where it's like, well, what do they actually like to talk to and spend time with? And if people are curating in a type of way or mediating in a type of way, it can be really challenging to work out like, have I just not spent enough time with them? Or is this just not the person I thought they were?
Almost certainly yes.
The answer is almost certainly yes. Sometimes you
Because
just know.
right, but
Though.
I think that in that instance, right, you can be, you know, charismatic, charming, whatever the fuck through text, you know, like you're saying, you get to have as much time to respond as you want. You come across as whatever. Maybe people are you know, really uh shaping themselves in a different way. Sort of putting a very contrived version of themselves forward, maybe.
Mhm.
Um and then when you go and meet them in person, you have all of, you know, the regular social interaction, looking someone in the eyes. Am I looking at them too much? Where do I put my hands? You know, nervous. Am
Yeah.
I what they expected? You know, are they what I expected? Am I what they thought that I would look like? You know, there's all of that going on. You know, there's no way that someone is going to be exactly who they were over text the first time you interact with them, because they're nervous as shit. And you probably are too. And they're probably walking away being like, is that like the same person or whatever? You really need to like, because that initial interaction is through, you know, just texting and shit. I think you do maybe need to like give it a bit more for them to like relax into who they are. I'll tell you this
I
right now. You like, you know how fucking loud and obnoxious I am. So like, if you could describe me with a word, it'd be boisterous, and you'd yell it when you said boisterous. You should see me in like a work environment. I didn't say shit. I'm like very, you know, people. There was like one place I worked at where they were like, "Oh, we found the podcast that you make or whatever." You know, we were wonderful, and I was like, "Oh, shit." Like, and
full panic.
they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you know," and they were talking about the fact that it was like a night and day, how I was like different people, and it's like,
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I understand what you're saying and how it directly relates to
yeah,
that exact scenario. I guess that, and I realize this is a me thing and not an other people thing, but I have really aggressively over the last few years tried to remove the delineation between those worlds. Like I am the same person here, ostensibly the same. Obviously, there are different modes of engagement, right? I'm focused on different things, but I'm ostensibly the same person here as I am at work, on client calls, in different podcasts. Like I've tried to unify my life in that way.
yeah.
And I've tried to curate what I'm doing in such a way that like it doesn't matter how somebody finds me or engages with what I'm doing, it will be consistent across the board. And I'm not necessarily saying that like I completely agree. I think there is a scenario where you go, actually, I didn't give it long enough. Sometimes though, you have to cut your losses, not because it's not worth giving that person more time, but because if they've overinvested in a type of way, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you are doing a lot more harm than you maybe intend to.
In what way?
Well, in the way that like they might be expecting I'm trying to talk about this without using a specific example because I think that's important. If they have the expectation that you feel a similar type of way that they do, and you meet them, and if you kind of go, the amount of time required here for me to work this out is not sufficiently long enough for them not to try and make a move on the feelings they have right now, that can be a problem. And that can lead to, like this guy's saying, that could lead to some really awkward engagements where it's like, they might want to do stuff that you're just like, I don't like, we just kissed. I don't know if I'm ready to move into this other kind of type of engagement.
Dog. So you say that.
That's
so you're just open and honest with your communication, right? But having these like expectations of, you know, I act this way, but you might be different in these circumstances. Like that's like way overthinking that side of it. And then to be like, oh, you know, but there's this arbitrary timeline or whatever. It's like you have until you're dead. Okay. So there's no timeline.
No, you say that, but this is the whole thing about this fucking system now.
You are overthinking this like
obviously. I overthink everything. I overthink everything.
I'll tell you this. We need a merch line, and you need to wear it and embrace it and embody it. And it's just like WWNPD. What would a normal person do? People just like you're so like hyper fixated on this like one particular way of like doing something, or like these timelines for how are they going to interpret it, blah blah blah. Who gives a shit what they think? Just go and fucking hang out with some people and like see where it goes. Get out of your head, David.
I try.
And I'm better yet, get out of their head, because I think you're inferring a lot about what their intentions are, what they're thinking, and it's like, dude,
I want to be explicit here. I am way better at this than I used to be, and I try to visit people's intentions far less. But it is like, I think it's just it's a natural kick-on effect of like the amount that my academic life is focused on like trying to predict and analyze things. It becomes really hard to separate that and delineate it. I know it's a flaw I have, but also this is like part of what people do now. Like it is all very sort of navel-gazing and self-reflective in this sense. There are people that don't do this, and I envy them, but there are a lot of people that do.
And who do you think's enjoying themselves more?
Fuck, are you kidding me? The people that don't have to deal with this shit. Are you kidding me?
Of course.
But there's only so much therapy in the world, James. I can't fix myself that quickly.
This is like these are like, and throwing like timelines into shit. Your timeline is, am I dead yet? No? Then we're good. Hey, are they dead? No? Then we're cool, dude.
Yeah. I know. You asked me a series of questions. I was trying to give you some metrics and frameworks, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we discovered maybe what some of the problems are.
Listen. Like I said, not good at this. Not good at it.
Okay, you had a question. You were asking someone's question.
Well, now I feel like we've hit our time limit, but we can dip into this really quickly.
Sure.
We can work through it very quickly. James, this is from Spoiler Coon. You are Waldo. Where do you hide? You are Waldo. Where do you hide?
Fucking
just a light one to go out on. Light one.
In plain sight, dude. I hide where they least expect me. In front of your face, idiot.
In the middle of the page. In the middle of the page, you reckon? Right in front of him.
I'm probably kicking it with other fake Waldos. Find me now.
I'm surrounded by me's. See, I reckon what you do is you get nude, because then they don't know you're Waldo.
Oh. Or go to a house of mirrors.
Oh. But when they... Hang on.
Which Waldo
if they see a
is
reflection,
me?
Does that count? Which is the authentic Waldo.
Nah, you get one choice. Make it count.
I think in that scenario, you've lured someone to a house of mirrors and you have a gun and you're like, they don't know where you are, and you're like, fucking tell me who the real one is or I shoot you. And they're like, I don't know, there's so many mirrors. Like, if you choose wrong, you die. Kind of a
Huh?
Yeah,
That'll
add
get him
some
to
pressure
stop.
to it.
That'll, Waldo's got to get these fucking people off his back some way.
Mate, they're always bloody. Waldo, where are you, mate? I'm having a me day, all right? I'm at the spa. Leave me alone, you know?
I was gonna bring a sort of a misconnection for you here from one of my favorite places where there seems to be a million of them, which is Bellingham, Washington. For some reason, I don't know why, but Bellingham, Washington is popping off with Craigslist misconnections, and I don't know why.
Is it because everyone's walking past Colin?
Well, Colin notoriously doesn't live there anymore. They chased him out of town.
They said all of the women they keep throwing themselves at you. We have to get rid.
Said, we gotta get rid of the competition.
You're making it hard for the rest of us, lad.
And then just sort of off the top, just too weird. Like this one says, I know it's weird and rude, but I just saw them laying there, so I swiped them. I apologize, and I hope it didn't inconvenience you when you noticed they were gone. If you want this particular pair of underwear back, I can leave them somewhere for you, or maybe mail them without a return address. Lol. No thanks. You keep them. You are setting up a trap. Oh, I'll leave them at this place at this time. Yeah, will you? And I'll bring a fucking gun, dude.
Hey, James. What? What do you? What? How? What? Where were they? Why were you there? Why did you think it was appropriate to take them? Why did you post this?
Well,
what is happening? What is going on?
Dental hygienist Barkley, you could be the most amazing woman / hygienist. Thank you for making those tough appointments great. What?
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 You're posting about your... That's a human you could just talk to.
Misconnections is such like a strange space because it's so love songs and dedications-y for me, where you have to hope that, I had this interaction with, because a lot of it is like, hey, I saw you, you saw me, we were looking at each other, neither of us approached each other or said anything. And then you have to go, okay, I can't let this, situation go. No, yeah. I've seen the movie Serendipity. I know how it works. I need to run to the internet and take it you've never seen the movie Serendipity. It's fine. You don't need to have seen it, okay? You go, I know what I need to do. I need to run to the internet immediately.
Love Actually.
I go to Craigslist. I go to Misconnections. I go to Bellingham, Washington, and or wherever you are, and I write in there, hey, this just happened. Please tell me you're out there. And then you have to hope that they think
they're on the same space.
That you would have gone to the internet to write this down, and that they're also out there searching for you. It's a wild space.
It's a real. It's like a dozen cold shots in the dark. Yeah.
But I love that
I'm just now learning that John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale are in this film, so I am going to have to watch this.
It's a good one.
Yeah, because Kate Beckinsale is something else. So
I think we've done it.
I think I've checked the scoreboard. We've done an episode of Advice. Thank you so much for watching or listening. If you choose to watch and listen, you got this far, we appreciate you listening to this podcast out of all the other podcasts on the internet. You can find us on all of the socials, all the places you'd think, on Twitter at The Advisory Pod, Instagram at The Advisory Podcast, and on Facebook, Advisory Podcast. You won't find me there, but you can find all of our content, all of our updates. We are part of Black Swan Society, a collective group of artists. We make all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to have more things in the pipeline for you. But right now, though, if you enjoyed this podcast, please don't tell anyone. Keep it to yourself. It's your dirty little secret. Keep it to yourself in your bedroom. Listen to it when you're alone. And maybe consider giving us a rating on iTunes and tell people where you listen to it. 5-star reviews only, obviously. Anything lower than that, we will ignore or come after you on social media like some weird kind of defensive puppets. Otherwise, that's all she wrote for this week. Join us again next week for more advice. If you are following us on the social places, let us know what you think of my terrible, terrible dating practices. I've been David. That's been James. We have to get out of here. We got to go. We got to go.
We have to leave.
We got to go.
We have to leave. Just so quickly.
What's up?
You you like said all of that really wonderful outro off the dome, and I really want to take this time to just appreciate you and how great that was, because it was actually very impressive and very good, and thank you for that.
Yeah, cool. Don't say something else though. Just finish there.
Well, no, I was also going to say, like, boy, howdy, do we really have to tighten up the consistency on those social handles, huh?
Listen, it's not. If you search for the advisory on the social platform, you'll probably find us.
You might find it. Yeah.
None of them are the same.
And if you'd like to, if you would like to date David, please send an email to advisorypodcast@gmail.com with the subject line Sweet Davy Dates. And
do that. Sweet Davy Dates. Do that. We'll read them. We'll read them. The other thing you can do, if you were like, man, that really dry, serious content that David makes about like literature and academia sounds interesting, you can find all that over at zeroindent.com or youtube.com/zeroindent. You want to find my novels at maynardtrig.com, or should you so desire, you can YouTube just whatever you want. Just whatever you're in the mood for. Just type in a keyword. It's crazy. What it'll do is it'll bring up stuff related to that keyword. You can click on it. You can watch it. You could do that as well.
My suggestion is like a good cooking video. You know, maybe you want to learn some maybe
learn to make.
Start my personal I would go with Maddie Matheson if you want to be entertained, but if you really want to like make something delicious, I'd go with like a Jack Pepin, something like that. You know, really learn those fundamentals. He's teaching me a lot.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. That's cool and good and a funny bit. We have to leave you now because this is the longest outro on the planet.
Yeah.
James, do you have any parting words?
Well, you know what I always say.
Yeah, I do.
If you can't beat them, try distracting them with one person and then send someone else around to circle around behind them and get them with a pincer move. They'll never see it coming.
Get him from behind. That's James's advice.
And your parting words of wisdom?
I would say it's been fun. It's been real. Goodbye.
How dare you try to steal my saying? How dare you try to... That's it. I'm ending the stream. We're out of here. Bye.